All right, hello. This is 90.9, the quadratic. Going to try to give you your Algebra 2 test review in a video such as this. We're having a heck of time here at the quadratic, capturing these videos, trying to use a few different things so the audio plays back without that terrible screeching sound. So this is what we got tonight. All right, your test is Friday. Again, this is your Algebra 2 Chapter 1 test review. Hopefully that this video will not shake a ton. The hands are not steady as a surgeon. Guys, on 1 through 3, you're going to plug in -2 for A, -7 for B, 8 for C. All right, so we're going to plug it in just like we see here in 1. You want to make sure to use brackets. Use brackets for the 2A minus 5B part. -2. That might glare a little bit. 2 times -2 gives you a -4. Negative times a negative gives you a positive 35. They're combined like terms. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. You get -48 times 31. You get -1488. This first page also brought to you by Tazo T. We thank you for their generous support. Tazo Zen T. Mr. Yak is currently out of that. Your grade will not be effective in a negative fashion. That's all I can say. If you graciously supply Mr. Yak with more Tazos NT. All right, moving on here. Number 2, plug it in. -2 minus 8 is -10. That's going to give you -50 in the numerator. Square B first. -7 squared gives you 49. Then double it. You can have this answer. That's a decimal, or -25 over 49 is the reduced fraction. Either of these three will be fine. Take a look at number 3. Plug in all your numbers here. At the top, you're going to have a negative times a negative is a positive. 96 and 22 gives you 118. -2 times -7 is a positive 14. That divides to be 8.43-ish, or 59 over 7. You can also write it like that. Those three are going to be acceptable. All right, folks, take a look here at number 4. Simplify the expression. Make sure to distribute. 7 times 2x is that. Be real careful on the negative times a negative parts here. -5 times a -3x, positive 15x. Underline like terms. 29x, time for Match.com. Too many x's, Match.com at your service. -65y. All right, guys, when you have a fraction like this, they will multiply out nicely. You can do 4 divided by 7 in your calculadora times 14 gives you 8, etc. For all of these, you can handle it like that. You get 8x plus 20y. 2/3 of 18 is 12. Don't forget the minus. A negative times a negative is a positive. Combine like terms, you're 4 in debt with the x's. 18 and 20 gives you 38y. All right, solve this equation for y. You're just going to have one of these on your test, and it might look more like A. Both of them not bad at all. Just add 3x to both sides. Again, you want y all by itself. Add 3x to both sides, then divide by 5. Y is by itself. You got all the single y's right there. All right, take a look at B. Where are we at? All right, multiply both sides by 4. Get rid of that denominator. 2x plus 3y is 20. Subtract 2x and then divide by 3. All right, that is your first page. Your first page, not too bad. I would expect to see 6 questions just like that. Again, tomorrow. All right, moving on, guys. This whole page really is solving equations. You're going to have 4 equations to solve on Friday's test, not 6, but I want to give you guys extra practice. Here, just add 3x to both sides, then add 7. 5x is 22, x is 4.4. All right, here you want to distribute 5x minus 45 plus 13 is the right side. Combine like terms. This page brought to you by Caldi Natural High Coffee, organic and fair trade if you're into that. Add 3x to both sides. Add 32. 8x is 49. You get 6 and an eighth is your answer. Either of those is fine. All right, you got to distribute twice on 9 here. Half of 20 is 10x. Minus half of 12 is 6 equals 2/3 of 27 is 18. 2/3 of 6 is 4. Add 4 to the other side. Then add 6 here. X is 12 over 7, or 1.7. Take a look at 10. You're going to add 2.5 to a half. That's going to give you 3. Or if you add 5 halves to 1 half, 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 over 2 is 3. Either way you slice it. 3x minus 7 is 9. Add 7 to the other side. 3x is 16. You get 16 over 3, or 5.3 repeating. Again, pause this at any time if you need it. Distribute here. 4x minus 12 plus 8x minus 16 is 20. Combine like terms. 12x minus 28 is 20. Add 28 to the other side and divide by 12. You get a nice answer here of x is 4. All right, take your time here. Distribute. You get 8 plus 3x minus 6 is equal to 6. You want to handle this first. Don't do 6 minus 4 and call it 2. Then distribute that. You will not get the correct answer. Order of operations, we're going to multiply here first. So negative 4x plus 12. All right, negative times a negative, positive 12. 8 minus 6 is 2. 3x plus 2 equals 6 plus 12 is 18 minus 4x. Move that over through addition. You got 7x plus 2 is 18. Subtract 2 from both sides. 7x is 16. You can write it as 16 over 7 or 2.3. Either of those is fine. Take your time on 13 and 14. A is negative 2. B is negative 7. C is 12. Be like Glade and plug it in, plug it in. Nothing kills the smell of a freshman boy like a Glade plug-in. We're almost at pumpkin spice season. All right, plug it in as such. Negative 14 minus 12 is a negative 26. Negative 10 minus 36 is negative 46. But what comes out of the absolute value? Positive 26 and 46 gives you 72. All right. I'm going to plug 12 in for C. 60 is on the outside, and that stays there for a while. Plus 6, you're going to have 6 times A plus a negative 7. Negative 12 minus 7, that's really what happens when you add a negative 7. You get negative 19. What comes out of the absolute value, though, is a positive. 6 times 19 is 114. Combine those two, you get 174. All right, moving on, and we'd like to thank a great local coffee shop, Coffee Espresso, the sponsor of today's page, or the third page here. We are in hashtag go time. Guys, whenever you have absolute value equations or inequalities, you could live 6 miles to the right of the tracks or 6 miles to the left of the tracks. Remember, absolute values are distance from 0. That's why we have 2 different equations. We're in hashtag go time right here. 4x minus 8 is 6. Or 4x minus 8 is a negative 6. Add 8 to both sides. 4x is 14. 4x is 2. You get 3.5 and a half. All right, guys, on 16, you have to add 4 first to get into hashtag go time. 5x minus 3 in the absolute value equals 10. That's my first equation. Or it equals a negative 10. Add 3 to both sides and divide both by 5. Notice it says check your solutions. We're going to do that here on 18. On 17, folks, you want to add 4 to both sides before you divide. Don't divide by negative 7 first, because then you're going to have decimals galore, and we haven't dealt with anything like that. So add 4, then divide by negative 7. You're in hashtag go time. 3x plus 5 equals 3. That's in the absolute value, of course. So then you have your 2 equations. Subtract 5 from both, and then divide by 3. Guys, you have to check your solutions when you have x's on both sides. If variables are on both sides, you want to make sure to plug in your answers right here. All right, x plus 3 is 2x minus 1. We're in hashtag go time here. Or x plus 3 is negative 2x plus 1. Everything on this side would be the opposite. It was positive 2x, now it's negative 2x. It was a negative 1, now it's a positive 1. Subtract x, and then add 1, you get 4. Add 2x, and then subtract 3. You get x as a negative 0.6 repeating. Now, we're going to talk about why that answer is extraneous here. Guys, you want to take that 4 that you got, and you want to plug it in right there. Plug it in to the right side. You want to make sure that what you get out of the absolute value turns out to be a positive. If you do 2 times 4 minus 1, you get 7. 7 is a positive. It's greater than 0. Greater than or equal to 0. Again, it could be 0. So this answer works. But if you put negative 0.6 repeating, even if you just typed in negative 0.6, if you plug that in right there, you're going to get negative 2.3 repeating, which is a negative. You can't have a number coming out of the absolute value have it be a negative. That cannot happen. So this is bad. This is an extraneous solution, a solution that you get that turns out not to be valid. So we do not count this as an answer. All right, solve each inequality, guys. Inequalities just have one answer when there's no absolute value involved. Subtract 2x, then you're going to add 31. 6x is less than 54. X is less than or equal to 9. Here, distribute 4x minus 28. 2x plus 30 here. Subtract 2x, add 28. You're going to have 2x is greater than or equal to 58. X is greater than or equal to 29. Make sure to distribute, guys. 3x minus 4 is not a negative 1. It's not 1. It's not a negative 1x. Do this distribution first. Negative 4 plus 8x. Combine like terms. Time for Match.com. You have 11x minus 4. You're going to add 5x, 16x. And then you're going to add 4, 21. Divide by 16. X is greater than or equal to 21 over 16. Or 1.3125. Guys, on this one, you just need to multiply both sides by 3. 10 minus 2x less than or equal to negative 30. Subtract 10, then you're going to divide both sides by negative 20. When you divide by a negative, you got to flip the sign. So that's why we got x is greater than or equal to 20. All right, last page here. We're actually looking for a last page sponsor. So if you're interested, contact 90.9, the quadratic. Guys, we have an absolute value involved, so that means we have two inequalities. I could live, so this is all about the tracks. I could live 10, if I got to live at least 10 miles away, I could live 10 to the right and over there, or I could live 10 to the left and over there. So that's why greater than or equal to 10. And then we say negative 10 like we did in the other ones, but I've just multiplied 10 by negative 1. That's why you always got to flip the inequality to begin with. Add 2 to both sides and divide by 3. X is greater than or equal to 4. X is less than or equal to negative 2.6. Repeating. This would be an or statement. You can't be bigger than 4 and less than a negative. Don't worry about saying and or though. Add 3 to both sides. You're going to get in the absolute value 2x plus 7 less than or equal to 6. 2x plus 7 greater than or equal to negative 6. Again, multiply by a negative 1 and flip the inequality sign. Subtract 7 from both sides and divide by 2. This would be an and statement because I can be less than negative 0.5 and greater than negative 6.5. All right, actually, we're going to skip to 26 because it's just like 23 and 24. You got to add 4 first. Then you're going to divide by 3 to get it in a hashtag go time here. X plus 4 greater than or equal to 3. X plus 4 less than or equal to negative 3. Subtract 4 from both. This would be an or statement here. Lastly, on 25, distribute first. Then add 2 to all three regions. You got negative 9 is less than 2x, which is less than 19. And then simply divide all three regions by 2. Negative 4.5 is less than x, which is less than 9.5. All right, that is your test review video. This is a 90.9 the quadratic signing out.